Okay, how's it going, everyone? My name is Patrick Fallon, and I am the director and lead designer of Mobile Studios. Um, I'm the one who, a long time ago, came up with the idea for Aquamarine, and who's basically been spearheading this project ever since 2017. And today, we are taking a look at the Kickstarter demo for Aquamarine. And I'm going to give you a full walkthrough of what is going on in the game and what to expect. And there will be lots of spoilers and lots of behind the scenes talk. And yeah, basically just want to give you an idea of what we're making and what we are planning to do with the rest of development, and just basically the overall direction of where this project is headed. So without any further ado, let's jump in. So this intro is basically explaining the story of the game.
On the edge
And yeah, let's just watch and wait for it to finish.
I was the newly appointed Seeker, sent to find another path for our survival. But what I discovered challenged my own will to survive. My story began long ago, on a planet lost to time. On a planet that changed me forever. On a planet I call Aquamarine.
Right, so basically that is explaining in a roundabout way how it is that you, the Seeker, ended up on this planet, and showing how you crash landed on the planet and how your ship, which is represented by that big pillar of smoke, how it ended up on the other side of the planet and you ended up here with your little survival pod that's floating on the left over here. And this is our home base. This is our main menu, I guess you could call it. This is where you do a number of things. In the very beginning, it starts out small. So let's see here. We have your stock, which, as you see, is empty. And it shows your hunger here. Basically, the only way that you can lose this game and get a game over is if your hunger fills all the way up to the very tippy top. And you got a lot of time before that happens. And there's lots of ways to fill it up. And, or I should say, lots of ways to make it go down, and lots of ways that you'll be warned when it's a little too close and you're about to starve. So this right here, camp, we're not going to use this right now, but this is what sends you to sleep. Sleep pushes forward the day cycle, so there's a 4-part day cycle. In my head and in the code of the game, we call the parts dawn, day, dusk, and dark. So different things happen throughout each part of this cycle, and part of the game is figuring out what it is that happens during each part of the cycle and how to maximize those different events for your survival. Then we also have the map, and right here we click on map, and that sends us to this area, which is just a little bit basic right now. Basically all you can do here is decide to go for a dive or to return to the island. Right here you get a little message, and different messages will pop up as you play the game, essentially telling you what's going on and what your player needs, and I should say what your Seeker needs, and what it is that you really need to be doing in the game. So this is big for a reason, so pay attention to what's going on here. But we're going to take a dive. Okay, and this right here is the exploration section of the game. As you can see, there's a big HUD These are the controls of your ship. Up here, this is a little bit of story information, basically telling you what you are or where you are and what's going on. And obviously, this is the world itself. A lot of these are buttons. If you see something that highlights in blue, that means it's a button you can use. These are your meters. This one is for your fuel, and this is for the hull of your ship, basically your health meter. If either one of these meters goes down, you start over from the beginning and you get sent back to the island. And in addition to that, you have to regenerate your ship by camping and letting the ship regenerate overnight. We'll get into what these things do here, but really quick I want to show you the display button. The display button changes the look of your HUD. So as you can see, it goes from this thing here to this thing here. That transition is a little janky. I need to fix that. But these menus right here are very important as well. So let's open up a menu here. Right now we have the ship menu, and this expands, and I don't like the design of it right now because there's this big part of this big dead space right here, but we're going to fill it out eventually and get it going. This is just temporary, and eventually this does fill out, but anyways, long story short, this is temporary. So this is your ship. Right here you can see your manual. There's currently 4 pages of this manual, and not including the cover page. And right here is a lot of useful and actually very important information, especially if you seem or feel confused by the HUD, or if you feel like you just have no idea what's going on. You need to come in here and go to your ship and read your manual, because it explains a lot. And yeah, there's a version of this in our Kickstarter that'll be a physical version. Right now, like I said, there's only 4 pages plus the cover, but the finished version will be much larger. Okay, we also have our map, and this here is basically how you can get back home. So this map will pull up whatever current maps you have. There is one additional map that you can find in the level, and we might get to that. We'll see. And let's see, right here it says I need 2 more gems to reach the island. This is basically telling you you don't have what it takes to go back home yet. This is your stock. We got nothing in here. And these are your notes. And in your notes here, you will scan the area like it says. Scan areas to collect useful data about the plants and wildlife. And when you do that, little buttons will pop up over here, and you'll learn new things about the creatures and the plants and the objects that you see. Okay, so let's go back. So here we are. Basically, the point of this game is you need to explore the area and find a way to get to your crashed ship. There's no cues as to where you need to go, you just need to figure it out. And so you start out by moving. There's 2 ways to move. There's when these little circles pop up here, you click one and you move. Now what this is saying is it's reminding you right here that your fuel is going down every time you move. So I click again and it goes down. So these little gems here, these are your fuel resources, and there are a lot of other resources too. They're basically your currency in the game. So you pick up these gems, and my little counter just went up. Oh, we got a friend here. Hello. Hello, Mr. Bird. Also a temporary asset, but I do like it when this guy shows up. Anyways, so we just picked up a gem, picked up another gem. We've got 16 gems here. Now these are points that you add. So right now I'm getting a pretty low fuel meter here, so I need to click it to go back up. And let's just use them all because we can go and collect more of these gems. Another thing you can do is use your numpad, if you have it, to move your ship around. I kind of like using the numpad a lot because I use a mouse all the time, and it's nice to not have to do that. Yeah, there's lots of extra things you can do with the numpad. You can move a little bit quicker, and I don't know, for me it works better. But also you can do everything else with your mouse. So for this purpose, or for the purpose of this video, we will just keep using the mouse. Okay, so right here we have a gem that is red, And what that means is when we pick it up, it's going to do something special. And it just turned on our scanner. So we're going to wait to use the scanner because right here we just got a speech bubble. And when a speech bubble pops up and it has that little orange border on it, and you click it, that will take you to the next area. So we found a new area. Let's move and pick up this gem, and then let's scan the area and see what's hanging out. We have a creature here. We've got a bunch of gems sitting around here. And as you can see, there's an opening here, an opening here, and an opening here. These gems that allow you to scan an area are really important. A big part of playing this game is really knowing what's around you at any point in time and how to deal with it. And so getting a gem that can open up this area and let you see everything that's going on is super valuable. So there's another red gem right there, so let's make our way over there. This creature right here, as you can see, just ate that gem. That's something that basically is the sole purpose of that creature. It goes around and it gobbles up gems, and you kind of have to try to get there before it does. And sometimes, if you get a bit too close, it might tell you to go away in its own way. So let's go to the next area here. Here's another eater. I've got another scanner, so I might as well light that up to see what's going on. So I've got a border here and a border here, which means I don't need to go in these directions, and I don't really see anything super valuable over here. There's these gems, but I can pick these up also, and kind of don't need to make my way all the way over here. Sometimes, you know, just because you see something interesting, you don't necessarily need to go and pick it up. So let's go grab this one. It's a different color gem, so what that one does is it extends your movement. So right here you see we just got an extra move. So I'm going to use that to pick up this next gem. Getting low here, so I'm going to fill us back up. Now look at this. We currently have 3 spaces that we can move as opposed to our normal 2. And right here, the orange number 1 means we have 1 more turn, which we can use these 3 extra move, or this extra move here for 3 moves altogether. So as soon as I use these 3, that 1 will go back to 0, letting you know that you no longer have the extra move space. So there's 1, 2, 3. And it's my turn again. You know it's your turn when your numbers go back up. And then click here, and let's move to the next space. Ooh, we got really lucky. So there's this game is technically procedurally generated, but it's not procedurally generated in the way that everything is random and new all the time. It's kind of a half and half scenario. So the reason why I just said we got lucky is because this object right here is a disc that we want to find and pick up. It gives us some abilities once we craft it. And this disc could end up anywhere in the map. It will always be in this section, but it could be at any point in this map. And the way you know that there's a special item is right here. You'll see this scanner is lighting up and it makes a little ping sound. That lets you know you're in an area that has an item and you need to find it. Always find an item if this scanner is lit up. That information is in the ship manual, by the way, so like I said, very important to read the ship manual. So this guy right here, he's hanging out, he's fine, he's not going to do anything, he doesn't eat anything but gems, so we don't need to worry about getting too close to him. That's a fun little effect. Okay, so we just picked up a unique device, or a unique object, and each unique object has a unique speech bubble that pops up, which adds a little bit to the story and just gives you some context for what's going on. Let's see, it says, how familiar, I'll have to analyze the disc back on the island. And you can click it, and clicking it brings you straight to the map. And you say, I can use 4 gems to reach the island. Once again, this is a button, and you know that because it kind of zooms in when I hover over it. And you know what? We're just going to use it. We're going to go straight back to the island, and here we go. Ooh. So sometimes if you're in a certain part of the day long enough, when you go back to the island, time moves forward and you start a new part of the day back on the island. What that means, unfortunately, though, is that our hunger is starting to climb. So it's fine for now, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. Okay, so we got this disc. Let's analyze it. The disc holds plans for a mechanical device. I just hope it works in the pod. I can craft it with 20 gems. I got 40 gems, 20 gems, no problem. So what we just crafted is our very first pod upgrade. This upgrade itself is permanent, which means basically it'll never go away. However, these different little abilities, they can go away if you run out of fuel or your ship hull goes to 0 while you're exploring. So, you know, be careful when exploring. Make sure you don't die with a bunch of gems on you, because, you know, you can pick up your gems once you lose them, but it's not fun to have to go pick those back up, especially if you're deep in the level. Okay, so we got range plus, where you get an extra move and you can move again. That can be useful sometimes. At this point in the demo, I would say this is my least favorite ability, unless maybe you're starving and something just keeps gobbling up all of the food that you find, but not probably the case right now. These two, however, are the best. So wave, which is ship pushes back all objects in a single space radius. This is a necessary ability. This will basically allow you to progress through the level and get to the end. Bash. This says ship destroys one object in a single space radius. And this also is a semi-necessary ability. You can get to the end of the level without this one, but this helps you unlock some stuff that maybe we'll see later. Right now, I only have 20 gems, and I'm about to show you something that is really important for exploration, and that is what I call the ship regeneration. And this is how it works. You come to your stock, you click on your gems, and this is temporary. I think it could work a lot better than this, but basically when you click on your gems, it'll say regen 12, and what that means is your ship will fully regenerate for only 12 gems, which is a major cut down in what it would cost if you were regenerating the ship while exploring. So we're going to click that, and you get the little sound, and now we only have 8 gems, which that's totally fine, especially if our pod is topped up. I think we'll stick with that for now, because as you can see, we can't upgrade this pod. So let's go back to the map. And yeah, so another thing that's important here, if I don't find a food source soon, I won't last much longer here. Just a reminder that you gotta eat, otherwise the game is over. Okay, let's see, I had to go take a break. I don't know if you can tell, but I have a little bit of a cough, and it's getting in the way of things, but we're back, and we are going to go and find our gardening tool. Ooh, but first, let's nibble on this mushroom here. Mushroom. Pick up that gem, because why not? And let's grab these as well, just in case. Don't need to really top up our fuel here. Go grab this gem on our way to pick up the gardening tools. And let's see what happens when we take this. Oh, he did not like that. That's fine. Just a little hit there to our hull. Nothing we can't bounce back from. Top up a little there. And might as well grab this one since it's close by. A lot of times when you're grabbing gems, you need to kind of gauge whether or not it's worth using the fuel to go and get the gem, because sometimes maybe you can get a gem that'll give you 8 points of resource, but it'll cost you maybe 6 to get there. So is it, how worth it is it? How desperate are you? That's something to consider while you're exploring and deciding whether or not to pick up everything that you see. So I know this eater right here is going to go for this gem, and I also know I can pick it up very easily and quickly, so I do. Okay, we are in the area where the gardening tools are, and we know there's a unique object in this area because the scanner is going off. Before I show you where it is, I'm going to go pick up this plant here, and I'm going to pick up this one as well. And so now we have a couple of plants that we can put in our garden, and let's see where our gardening tools are. They are not in this part of the map, so moving on the surface actually costs more than moving underneath the water. So I can kind of just jump up here. It'll cost me 2 fuel to do it, but I can jump up here, take a look around, and if nothing is nearby, just go back down. It doesn't count as a movement cost. Just a little expenditure on your fuel. Ooh! You saw that? That eater just got hit by the hider that hides underground and stalks it, or waits for its prey to get close by before it pounces on them. And it'll do that to you as well. That's why I was avoiding that tile before. But that was cool. We just saw it get one of its own. And let's go up here. And we're going to take a dip up here. And we're going to see if we can find the tools. Ah, there they are. Okay, so before we run out of fuel, I'm going to top up there. And blammo. These tools will be very useful back on the island. So let's see the little bubbles lighting up. So let's click it. And of course, it gives us the option to go back to the island, which we are going to use. Ah, nighttime. Not a bad time for gardening, really. Okay. Ooh, let's see here. This is what happens when you pick up a certain kind of mushroom and bring it onto dry land. It becomes mush, and you can drop it if you don't want to use it, but in a moment you're going to see that this mush is actually helpful. It's useful. But first, we're going to use our tools that we found, and we are going to create a garden. And as you can see, it's a bit dark, so it's hard to see, but this is the gardening menu. And once you find those tools, this is permanently unlocked, and this is where you start to grow your own food. So let's plant that guy there, and plant that one there. Don't have any plants in stock, but that is fine. Right now, there's just a limit of 3 plants that you can plant at any given time. So we've got these 2 already, and for this video, that's going to be more than enough. You have your tools. This is your harvesting tool, so you can see your mouse turns into a different item when you click on it, and it'll select something if it wants to harvest it, but it's not ready for harvest, so it goes back to normal. But this thing here, this mush that was made from those mushrooms, this is useful. And we're going to put it, it doesn't matter, we'll put it on this one. Okay, so I just put that mush, which is serving as a fertilizer for these plants, on one of the plants, and you can see it glowing now. And basically that is the plant telling you, thanks for giving me something that I want, and I'm going to grow nice and fast, and I'm going to make food for you very soon. But that takes time, and we got other stuff to do in the meantime. So let's go back to the beach. Let's check our stock here. We can regenerate for 6. Always want to check our regenerate button. Let's camp. So camping is two things, or it offers you two things. You can quit out of the game this way. Quit back to the start menu basically. So that's what exit is. I know it's not super elegant, but it's just how it's set up for now. Or you can click awake, and this is what pushes time forward. So awake, and then we can choose how long we want to camp for. So it's nighttime, so we can go to dawn, which is 1 cycle, or we can go even further, 2 cycles, and go to day. So we got plenty of room in our hunger bar, so we might as well go to day. So that fills up. And it is daytime now. And let's go check our garden and see what's going on with those plants. And they are growing. Oh, and we seem to have a little friend here. This is your pet. Basically, this guy shows up only if your plants are doing well. And we may or may not see this, but he kind of gives you little gifts. And he can give you things that will help you grow plants. And he's also just a fun, cute little companion to have around. I got the idea for including this pet in the game while I was living in the tiny little town that I live in called Wairika. And I basically met a stray cat on the street and decided to make friends with it. And I was feeding it cheese, and basically I ended up adopting it, and it just sort of came out of nowhere. And it kind of reminded me that it's a bit lonely in this game, so it would be nice to have a pet. And so here we are with our fun little bird pet. Bird monkey tail thing. I don't really know. It doesn't have wings, so it's a flightless bird. Yeah, I don't know what to call it. I haven't really given it a name yet. Alright, let's go back. And let's take another dive. See what we can find. Ooh, okay, so you can see that it's raining right now, and that's actually a really nice sign. Things change when it's raining. Certain creatures behave differently. Certain things don't happen that would happen if it wasn't raining. And then in the garden, if it's raining, your plants will be very happy. So if you ever see it raining, you know, don't rush to go back to the island, but definitely make a note of it that you should go check your plants sometime in the future, because they'll be happy to know that they get some water. And let's see. We've got 27 resources and pretty full meters here. So I'm going to activate our upgrade, and we're gonna push things forward a little bit. So now that I have this upgrade activated, you can see here this, excuse me, you can see here this orb is full of liquid, and what that means is you can now use an upgrade. And so I have one activated, so I only have one that I can choose from, and I can turn it on like this, and that's how you know that you're using your upgrade, or turn it off if I don't want to use it anymore. And this upgrade is the one that pushes things nearby back 1 space, and that is going to be useful for these blocks right here. So this is sort of an environmental puzzle, and as you can see, there's a gap right here, and this is basically just representing an area that you can't pass through, and the way you pass through it is by knocking these blocks into the gap. That's a temporary puzzle for now. There's going to be a much better, much cooler looking one, but it served its purpose, and you know, it could be a lot worse. So we've activated our wave upgrade, and now boom, now we've got a way through. Oh look, we're ready for a change of scenery. How great. The Seeker came across some kind of underwater garden thriving with strange plant life. So you can see there's a whole lot of plants here. I'm not going to pick any up because for this game we don't really need many more. Oh! I did not see that. That is our friend the swimmer. And the swimmer you cannot always see. And he just ambushed us. That's fine. Definitely not too big of a hit, but too many more of those and we won't be doing okay. If I had my wave right now, I could push the swimmer out of the way, but I don't. So I know that the swimmer only attacks from a distance, and so I'm going to make sure I stay nearby, because that way the swimmer will not attack. If I was to, so see the swimmer's right here, kind of one spot away from where I am. If I was to move here, for instance, he'll start trying to move into position to try to attack me again. Ooh, look at that. We did get a food. Let's pick this one up. Oh yeah, we need it too. Here we go. Okay, let's keep pushing on. Now, I might just take us to the end. Let's see here. Got a scanner. Ooh. Looks like I can't go down this way. And I know that this is heading back the way I came, so I want to go up this way. There's a bunch of gems here, but really if I just grabbed these, it'll be enough for me, so I can leave those and try to grab something a little more accessible over here. Oh, you're gonna try it. Oh, gotcha. Let's pick up this one and then be on our way. So that other gem that we picked up just turned on our thruster, and basically the way this works is it's kind of like the gem we saw before that automatically gives you an increase in movement distance, but instead of automatically doing it, you can use this to turn it on. So it just sort of holds it there for you for whenever you think the best time to use it is. Okay, let's pick that up. Oh, I see a swimmer hiding over here, trying to be sneaky. Let's get out of its way. And let's not launch ourselves with that hider right there. Ooh, there's another one. This is a very active area. Pick up this. And we're moving on again. Okay, we're getting close to the end. And I definitely haven't shown you all that there is in Aquamarine, but you've definitely seen a good amount of it. as you can see, everything's a little rough around the edges. And oh wow, what a busy area we got here. All these creatures are spawned randomly, so you never know who's going to be joining you while you're exploring. Even if the objects are often the same, the special objects, the creatures that are sharing the area with you, they are never the same. Always random, and random according to what resources and items are actually in the area. So it can change every time. Um, but let's see. That guy, the hider, is going to go after the eater. The swimmer is going to go after either an eater or a hider. It can do both. But what I might do now is I have my wave activated. So I can move here, turn that on, and I'll push this hider out of the way. Ooh, and it looks like I sent that hider off the game board. Yeah, you can if you do a wave push and the creatures are close enough to the edge of the area, you'll actually push them out of the area, and they won't bother you anymore. So let's keep going. One more. And we are about to get to the end here. I'm going to re-up. And let's see. Hunger's fine. Oh, we never looked at the notes. Let's look at the notes really quick. We don't have a lot because I didn't scan too much, but this is the notes section. Every time you scan something and there's a certain item or object or creature in the area, it'll give you one of these pips, and each pip gives you new information. So the first one says, I call this cute species the eater. It loves to gobble up the gems scattered around the ocean shallows. Okay, so we know that it likes to eat gems. The eater seems harmless unless my pod gets too close to one. Their defensive energy blasts do serious damage. So now we know that they will hurt you. And you probably found that out on your own, but this is kind of a reminder. And then from what I've seen, the eaters swim... Oh, that's a typo. Uh-oh. The eaters swim instinctively to the nearest gem. I could follow one if I need resources. So if you're low on health and you need to pick up some gems and you see an eater lurking around, maybe follow one and try to beat it to the gem that it's hunting. And then this one says, this sneaky species camouflages itself when hunting and attacks with powerful speed. I'll call it the swimmer. So a little more info for you. Now, we've got plenty of resources here, so we will just make it to the end. Yeah, here we go. And this is it. Looks like the only way forward is to dive deeper, much deeper. To be continued. And that is the very, 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 very bare minimum of Aquamarine. It just restarts here. Takes us back to the start screen, and you can play again, and you can unlock a lot more. There's a secret in the game. Actually, there's two secrets in the game right now that I did not show you. We never fully harvested our plants. Basically, I know what to do and where to go, and so that kind of condenses the space, and I'm able to show off a lot more really quickly. But I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you liked what you saw. We are still funding on Kickstarter right now. Let me take a look at where we are with our goal. Last time I checked, we were a couple $100 short of our first stretch goal. Yeah, so right now we are about $300 short of our first stretch goal, and We are going to be funding for, 8 days, 8 more days, basically about a week. And this demo is available to download and play for free on itch.io and GameJolt. Um, and we hope you'll check it out, and we hope you'll consider contributing to our campaign so we can take what you just saw and improve on it and expand it and basically take that idea of what this game is all about and polish it and make it something special and unique. That's our goal, and we can do it with your help. So thanks for watching, and that's all. See you later.